Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're doing something wild. We're mapping out the human body, but not as a standard biology lesson. We're looking at it as a biological crime scene. It's a system constantly targeted by some incredibly highly evolved microscopic and macroscopic invaders. I am super excited to guide you through this honestly fascinating and slightly terrifying world. So let's dive right in. Just take a look at this staggering number: billions. That is the sheer global scale of this biological home invasion. You see, parasites thrive by exploiting our protected internal environment. To them, we aren't just people, we're a walking, breathing safe house that provides a literally endless supply of nutrients while shielding them from the harsh outside world. The big takeaway here? We are just hosts. We are entire ecosystems actively being conquered. Here is our biological true crime roadmap for today. We'll be covering the topography of parasites, their migration routes, mechanical and toxic impacts, host resource theft, brain hijacking, and finally, we'll wrap up with disease evolution. Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, topography of human parasites. We really need to lay out the floor plan of our biological house, and we're going to use the foundational work of scientist E.N. Pavlovsky to do it. So Pavlovsky fundamentally split these invaders based on their primary boundary breach. On one side, we have ectoparasites, think scabies mites. These guys live on the external skin, causing surface-level microtrauma and vectoring other diseases. But on the other side, we have endoparasites. These are the heavy hitters that push completely past the skin to conquer the internal environment of the host. Zooming right past the front door, endoparasites claim very specific internal biotopes, or habitats. We can break these down into three main categories. First, luminal parasites like Ascaris. They live in the hollow spaces, like our intestines. Second, tissue parasites, like Echinococcus, which embed themselves directly into solid tissues, liver, lungs, or even the central nervous system. And finally, the ultimate infiltrators, intracellular parasites, like Plasmodium. These literally breach the walls of our erythrocytes and macrophages, setting up shop right inside the cellular cytoplasm itself. No boundaries whatsoever. Moving right along to Section 2, migration within the host. Now, as Pavlovsky emphasized, these topographical classifications we just talked about, they're really just a snapshot. Why? Because the most terrifying invaders absolutely refuse to stay in one place. You have to follow the shocking physiological journey of the Ascaris larva to really get this. It doesn't just go to your gut and politely stay there. No way. It travels through your bloodstream to the liver, then the heart, and then it bursts into the lungs, causing acute inflammation. From there, you actually cough it up into your throat, only to swallow it back down so it can finally mature in the small intestine. I mean, it is a full body tour of destruction. So now that we understand how they map and traverse the host's body, we have to ask a critical clinical question. How exactly do these highly adapted organisms physically and chemically dismantle our physiological systems? And that brings us perfectly to Section 3, mechanical and toxic impact. Because the damage they cause isn't passive. It is a highly active, multi-front assault that starts the very second they migrate through our tissues. The first wave of this damage is brutally physical. Just look at this visceral biological hardware. Tapeworms and flukes come equipped with suckers, cuticular hooks, spines, and cutting plates just to grapple onto our mucous membranes. And the crucial point here is that this mechanical anchoring isn't just a minor irritation. It leads to localized ischemia, literally cutting off the blood supply. That triggers cellular necrosis and creates these massive cysts that physically compress vital organs like the liver or the brain. But wait. It actually gets worse. Their toxic allergic attack rolls out in two distinct phases. In the acute phase, our body sounds these loud, explosive alarms, a massive spike in IgE antibodies, severe hives, asthma-like responses. It's chaos. But the chronic phase? That is where it gets incredibly stealthy. These parasites secrete proteases that literally digest human antibodies. They exhaust our immune system and use molecular mimicry, disguising their proteins to look exactly like ours. This tricks our bodies into attacking itself, triggering autoimmune diseases that mimic things like rheumatoid arthritis. Let's head into Section 4, host resource theft. Shifting away from physical destruction, these invaders are systemic thieves, actively competing for our body's absolute most precious metabolic resources. These invaders force a devastating metabolic stalemate upon us. Take the broad tapeworm, Diphyllobothrium latum. It hoards so much vitamin B12 from your gut that it can cause human spinal cord degeneration and severe anemia. Then you have hookworms like Ancylostoma duodenale. They don't just steal your food, they drink your blood. They cause such extreme iron deficiency that they can literally alter a host's taste preferences, causing pathological cravings for fast carbs and completely stunting physical development in kids. We have now reached the dark climax of the Invaders Playbook in Section 5, Brain Hijacking and Oncogenesis. This is where we uncover the truly profound ways parasites manipulate our minds and mutate our DNA. First up, the organic impact on the central nervous system. When parasites form massive expanding cysts inside the brain, they exert horrifying organic pressure. They are physically crushing surrounding neurons and disrupting spinal fluid dynamics. So this isn't just a bad headache. This triggers visual and auditory hallucinations, severe epileptic seizures, and even Korsakoff's amnesic syndrome, which is catastrophic memory loss. It's like a ticking time bomb in the brain. But what if they bypass physical force entirely? Enter biochemical warfare. Toxoplasma gondii intentionally synthesizes neuroactive substances that alter dopamine levels in the brain. By modulating our neurotransmitters, it creates a diminished sense of danger, prompts aggressive driving, and pushes us towards risky behavior. In extreme cases, it even induces acute psychotic states mimicking schizophrenia. They are literally hacking our behavior to ensure their own survival. Absolutely wild. And that brings us to maybe the darkest chapter: parasitic oncogenesis. Certain flukes are actually classified by the International Agency for Research on Cancer as Group 1 carcinogens. This happens in 3 tragic stages. Step 1, they mechanically shred the bile ducts. Step 2, the resulting chronic inflammation and oxidative stress literally shatter human DNA, causing double-strand breaks. Step 3, the parasites secrete growth factors that stop these damaged cells from dying off, directly birthing aggressive, malignant tumors like cholangiocarcinoma. They don't just live in us, they rewrite our cellular destiny. All right, let's move to our final section: disease evolution and perspectives. As we close this biological crime file, we need to look at the endgame of this host-invader relationship and a mind-bending twist in modern research. Ultimately, an invasion generally leads to one of 2 outcomes. On one hand, you have severe, lethal complications. Think anaphylactic shock from ruptured cysts, peritonitis from perforated intestines, or massive superparasitism. But on the other hand, you have homeostatic equilibrium. And honestly, this is almost creepier. It's a decades-long chronic fibrosis and metabolic stalemate. The parasite permanently alters the host's body just enough to survive without immediately killing it. A permanent, uneasy truce. But here is the ultimate irony of this whole explainer. Scientists are now actively analyzing the very specific molecules, those excretory-secretory products we mentioned earlier, that parasites use to exhaust and suppress our immune systems. Why? To create revolutionary new drugs. The exact tools they use to turn off our immune response are being studied right now to treat severe human autoimmune and allergic diseases. So I want to leave you with a provocative thought. Could the biological weapons of our absolute oldest invaders actually become the key to curing the human immune system? It is fascinating to marvel at how the deepest secrets of human health might be hidden within the very organisms that evolved to destroy it. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the world inside you.